this is the Flying Dutchman, and that is the treasure hunt episode. Welcome home, Red Pack. Marcus here, and welcome to Comfort Cartoons, this show where I collect absolutely everything from the late 90s, 2000s, all the way to the modern day, and I'm also trying to create the world's biggest Spongebob, the Nickelodeon collection, and our CEO is now able to live underwater somehow.
You guys talk funny. Say more words.
Could you take your owner with? Come on. But I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and if you guys aren't, you know the deal. You like that? That's kind of a new one. You know the damn deal. Nickelodeon production, art, camera, flip.
I sense no danger here.
It's about to get a whole lot brighter, Red Pack, because your boy is here, and today is going to be so much fun because we're going to be going through another category in my collection, and that is one that you guys have never seen before. Well, you've seen some of it, and that is production art. And by production art, I mean some of the stuff we have over here. You guys have seen this in the background for a long time, pretty much since we made the cartoon cavern. I've had these back here, and this is the production art we are going to be cataloging today, along with some stuff you've never seen before. So right here we have on this side, these are the pose sketches. This would be one step after the storyboards. Storyboards are very loose outlines of the characters in order to get the whole concept of story displayed. Then after that, they would actually do the posing and stuff. Nowadays, they do it all digital, but back then, they would do the posing just like this. But then right after sketches, we have the actual production cels. These are the different assets they use in the actual episode that you watched as a kid. But since I got those ones, I've collected so many other ones that I've never had a chance to display. So we're gonna start going through everything. We're also gonna measure everything so that way we can get frames, because not all of this stuff is protected and not all of this stuff is certified either. With the prices of cels having gone up to like literally cost you an arm or a leg or maybe the actual price of a cel. I imagine those are pretty expensive. It's a lot of iron. But I definitely like to focus on the merchandising aspect of stuff, but I'm really happy with the production art that I have. So let's go ahead and get it all together, measure it out. I'll explain the stories behind each one. Let's do it. Okay, so I have a huge variety today, but I'll start off with the cel. And this one is not certified, and you would not believe the prices I got some of this stuff at. Boom. You know what this scene is? Let me see if you can get this right. Do you know what episode this is from?
Well, so it's interesting because like based off his outfit, I feel like this is the art episode, but I don't remember that setting.
Yeah, you're right. Brian will bring up this exact moment that these cels were used on screen.
Right, Mr. Krabs?
Yes, this is from the classic art episode, and if you look at it, it is kind of scraped up in certain places, and I have a firm suspicion that whoever had this thought that this belonged in the
trash. Why would they think that?
Believe it or not, besides these ones that have this Nickelodeon stamp on it, a lot of old production artwork, especially when it comes to Hanna-Barbera and stuff like that, people did find in the trash cans, but it's beautiful nonetheless. If you look at the detail of the characters, you can actually see that it's hand-drawn by small details like the graininess around Squidward's eyes. You can even tell that these little dots are not all identical, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Whereas now with digital, they would literally grab that same dot and multiply it. So it is the exact same. That's why we've got everything so perfect. But when everything's in motion, you don't really notice all those little details. This cel now would probably cost somewhere between $200 to $600.
Wow.
That's a big range, but I just want to be safe, you know, things fluctuate.
Based off our history with this channel, we know that a lot of SpongeBob stuff is just increased.
Yes, and I am not trying to say that to brag or anything like that. I got this for $25.
You got that for $25?
I told you. I got this one along with the next one that we're going to be showing for $25 because not that long ago, maybe like 5 years ago, cels were not nearly as expensive as they are now. And I actually found these both together. The only problem with it, as you guys can see, there is some damage here to the frame, but that kind of gives you a little sneak peek. You can see that background, if I lightly lift it up, that is a printed background. You can tell by the obvious cutoff. You see it?
Yeah.
So that's a way to see it, but you wouldn't be able to see that normally. If you look down here, this is actually 2 individual cels, and they are all signed off and everything. I'm not gonna lie, I wish it didn't have this green background around it, but let's go ahead and measure it out nonetheless. So it looks like this is 16 by 13. All right, that's a very weird frame size, but we'll find it. Okay, so this next one is seriously a grail piece for me. I've talked about it on the channel before, but today I finally have it here. This is an actual production cel for the Flying Dutchman, and I got it with this one in 2019, 2020 for about $60. Now, like I said, individually, they've gone up exponentially, but to me, again, I'm not trying to boast about the price in any way because you guys know the value of this is the same as this, or I'm not gonna sell it, so it doesn't really matter how much it's worth because to me, I'm gonna keep this in my collection. But let's go ahead and check out this next one. This is the Flying Dutchman, and not just that, it is from an episode that is getting a board game soon, and that is the treasure hunt episode.
Ooh.
So this is the original Flying Dutchman cell for the actual treasure hunting episode right here. And this came in this condition. I was not gonna pass it up just because of its condition, but this is an original production cell of the Flying Dutchman. Unbelievable. One of my favorite pieces in the collection, so you've gotta find a frame. But let's go ahead and break this down. So you saw on this one right here, it has a backing board, it has this front frame, it is missing the certificate. This one we do have the certificate for, so it is authentic, but it is rough. The frame comes up. I put this little like protector that we have for the magazines over the cell to protect it, but that is the raw cell. But you can see that this is a print background, again by that clear cutoff. I only mention that because if you have the full background, that raises the value of the piece from $300 to $400 to about like 1,000 to like 10,000, depending on the actual scene it is. But it is not in great shape at all. But what we are gonna do is we are gonna put all this stuff back together and then we are gonna frame it just like this. The Dutchman's a big character, so I mean, I feel like they should have got a bigger frame for him, but either way, just imagine this. That looks sick. Okay, so we've got the Dutchman here. We've got him measured up. He was about the same size, 16 to 17 by 13 to 14. Let's go ahead and put this cover I've been using for right now, cardboard, on it, and let's go ahead and move on to the next piece. And stick around to the end of the video, we're gonna have all of these guys in the frame. So moving off from production art a slight bit, we have some more right here that is absolutely mind-blowing. But this is a weird piece that I picked up. So this was for a Space Madness sweepstakes. Ryan will play the episode, one of the most iconic episodes of Ren and Stimpy.
Wax papers. Boiled football leather. Dog breath.
This is outside of our SpongeBob category here a little bit, but I wanted to bring this one up because you enter this sweepstakes and you could get these full color images, which are these prints of the actual episode scenes. It's very Polaroid-esque type material that they're printed on as well, really high quality, and it has all of this information on the side right here. And I don't know if you guys know, Ren and Stimpy, it can be a little dark. There's some dark history about the show too in some ways, and I've got mine, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, this person sold multiples of these and I just got mine, and I'm like, okay, what number did I get? Can I return?
You know, somebody's gotta get that number. Yeah.
Why me? I don't want this one, man. This guy, I don't know if we are gonna frame, but we also got this awesome Squiddly as Jack the Ripper. I'm pretty sure he's definitely scary. And we also got these little cards down here as well, so we'll snapshot those and frame those as well. Just I do need some frames to have them around the room if we can find them. All right, so the next item right here, these are the pose sketches that I referred to earlier on the left side of our display. So the rest of these are all gonna be sketches, and sketches are a little bit cheaper than some of the production cells because they weren't what was actually used in the actual episode, but just an asset they used to help make the episode. But to me, in my opinion, I think some of those can be the coolest. I love the first sketch, and to me, it's like an even deeper dive into that process. But Parker's our example of a medium ground SpongeBob fan, so let's see if you could call out this episode in particular. Boom, I don't think it's gonna take you long.
I mean, yeah, it's
the hooks.
It's the first episode. Help wanted, you know?
No, but this one right here is an absolute Grail piece for me because this is the part at the end where he's learning his lesson. He can't get the hook off his pants, and he's like, wait, Mr. Krabs.
I'll listen, I promise. Whoa.
But as a kid, that was such a horrifying scene. And he also thought, is SpongeBob actually gonna die over just not taking his pants off? He gets swooped up to the surface.
That's
and
a good point.
Yeah, and end up like one of those fish in Shell City. So it says Sep mouth and Sep hands here. I'm not 100% sure what those notes could have been. They're just references for them to remember. But if you look really closely, you can see there's multiple layers to everything. And you see the blue that's behind it. So that blue is to do an even rougher sketch. So that's like the first, like, okay, we got SpongeBob's frame there. And that blue is really easy to erase. And then once they have a good model done, then they do the final sketch and go over it and make it a little bit more permanent. So that scene is the hook episode, but I could not leave this behind. And this is a good example for why we need to protect this, because I'm glad that we did not notice it because it's, it's been pretty clean. But when I ordered these ones, this one actually had a protrusion into the actual artwork, which bled through all the way to the actual art.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, it only makes sense for the hooks episode, but I was very displeased to see that.
At least it wasn't on like the actual like sketch.
Yeah, but that's the reason why we have to put these in frames, and I'm gonna be keeping them as long as I can, because the more you send these off, the more people buy and sell and trade these. Every time you put them in the shipping, there's a little bit of a risk that these things might not ever come back in the shape that they are, so I want to preserve mine and keep them as long as I can. On a lighter note, I had to get the scene of Pearl and all of her friends. They were in the restaurant, I remember. That's what made them seem even more dire, because God, when girls heckle, it's scary. So the heckling begins, the pants come off, and boom, you have the group of the teenage girls with Pearl reacting to SpongeBob's disassemblment of his whole life and his whole mental security. Absolutely amazing. I have to get this framed. I don't even know if I'm gonna put this one in here. I might put those two in my house somewhere, just because it's just like, you can feel the judgment on their faces.
You want that in your home?
It's something fun about it.
You come out of the shower and then just...
I love it. I have no clue we'll put this in the room or not, but this is awesome. Okay, so these ones were 14 by 11. We're gonna try and find frames that don't squish them too much, but this is a very rare circumstance where you can actually have and collect both scenes. This is JH225 and this is JH224. So these are right back to back, which is not the most common thing when collecting. A lot of times you end up with just different ones from different scenes. Very, very awesome circumstance. I'm so glad to have both of them. Next one up, man. Now this one is a definition of a profile pic. Let's go ahead and check it out. And this is the most famous Texan under the sea, and that is Sandy Cheeks. Yes, so as you can see, we have the certificate right here, but boom, this is one of the pose sketches. This is pose B, as you can see, but man, that is a huge profile of Sandy. I think that is going to look absolutely beautiful on the wall.
Sure, yeah.
I had to mention Daisy at the start because we had her in the dome here. Absolutely so cute. I love Sandy so much, and this is just like her trying to be tough. I feel a little off as a SpongeBob fan because I don't know what that moment is.
Well, obviously it's very vague.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that snapshot. But what we do know is like it's a upward shot at her angry face.
Yeah, if Ryan can find it, he'll pop it up on screen. Shout out to Ryan. I think I'm gonna guess like Alaskan bullworm maybe, but it has to be season 1, so.
I'm actually gonna say like
Texas?
Yeah, like when Patrick was making fun of like Texas, and like that might be like just one of those quick shots.
When she's like getting like, yeah, I don't think you're off too far. But this one is amazing, and it has that certificate with it. There's not too much to explain on this one because there's no before or after. Just amazing piece and a great profile of Sandy. Okay, so moving on from Sandrell, I love that piece. We're gonna save these last two. Whoa, Parker, whoa. Saving these last two because I featured them on the channel once before, but I gotta say they are my favorite in the entire collection. And we also have two Cels that are missing right now, and that is a Mr. Krabs one that I think is in storage, and also one that Parker gifted me, which is Plankton. And because we hadn't gotten to this video yet, I wanted to make sure it was preserved, so I think that might end up in storage as well. So we're gonna go through that. But this is some stuff that we're also gonna try and find some frames for, because we are gonna be adding this to the back of the room. Like I said, in the new year, we're gonna be doing a lot of adjustments in the room, and one of the things, one of my goals is to finish the backside of this room so we can film 360 in here. But one of the things I'm gonna need to film some space is some artwork. So this one right here is the original menu for the cat dog toy line, and also the promotion they had at Burger King.
You don't have to choose between great tasting food and fun at Burger King. You can always get both.
This is the Adventures handout they would do at that time. Ryan has popped up the set on screen. We've opened it on the channel before, so definitely something I want to have in the background over there framed. I want to have a lot of artwork to fill in this backside of the room and kind of make this backside kind of like Squidward's art gallery. Just a lot of, not galley, grub.
No, but you can actually be gallery this time. Gallery
yeah,
hub.
actually gallery.
Gallery hub.
No.
Gallery pub.
Yeah, no, that's alcohol. Can you think of something not lewd?
Gallery tub.
I'm moving on. So we have the cat dog one right here. We not just have that, we have the Kids Choice Award 1999 with Rosie O'Donnell down here. Love the crew walking through the red carpet because they were celebrities. They still are, but Kids of America at that time, these were the Angelina Jolies, the Brad Pitts. I don't know why I named a couple.
I don't think Eliza is, but you know, she's there.
But then next we have this one, and look at this. The frame is broken. Now it was damaged in transit, unfortunately, but nonetheless, we will be able to get it out of here and put a new frame on it, so we'll have to measure this one for a new frame. And then we have the Rugrats original movie, beautiful piece we're gonna have in the back of the room too. But again, we're gonna have to get a new frame for that one. Hopefully the artwork's not too damaged from that cracking. And then last here, we have the Nickelodeon. That's so funny. Nickelodeon. Whose idea was that? The guy who made Nickel the arcade place?
Oh my god, what a deep cut, man. That just flooded me.
Well, if you guys want a nickel, let me know. That's why I had all my birthdays, because we couldn't afford quarter. But right here, this one's already framed, not damaged, but this one is a Burger King's Club Classic, so I got that one as well. And finally here, we have a little bit of some other production stuff, and this was the press kit for Rugrats in Paris, the movie, which comes with actual film reels from the film, along with all this information about the film itself. This one folder could be its own video, but nonetheless, we are gonna get a frame for this too. So let's snapshot all of this, and then for you guys, it's gonna be a quick cut, but we're gonna go get the frames, and we're also gonna go to storage and find those last ones, and we're gonna get everything together, so that way we have all of our art ready for the next year. Okay, so we are here in the future now, and all of the artwork has been framed, so I wanted to have all this stuff framed, so that way we can put it all over the room in the next year and start adding some more artwork. And I gotta say, frames make everything better. Check them out. There they are. I gotta say, these all came out amazing. Let's start over here on the right side. We have the Beware the Hooks right here, looking way cooler. Just looks so much higher quality. This is a postcard. You hang that up anywhere, they would think you paid $15, $20 for a print. We got the She's from Texas one right here as well. See her hibernate. See her girl-powered karate action. See her hungry scallops beaten into submission. Squidward, he's like, oh no, I'm always in submission. And then we've got the rock bottom right here. Yeah, this is the one that ran the actual bust office.
Tough luck, kid. That's the last one till morning.
So those looked great, but check out our art one right here. And you see all these little particles that spit everywhere?
I do.
This is why we need those. Because when you run a YouTube channel and you yell and talk a lot, a lot of things come out. So that is I'm so glad these are preserved and protected now. Of course, there was some scratching and damage on this one, but at least we can halt all that damaging where it's at and preserve it from here. And then the same thing with the Flying Dutchman. It is very clear when you look at it in the frame that it needs a lot of work, but man, this thing looks 100 times better, all encapsulated into one piece, and it really looks like the piece of art that it deserves to be. Then up here, we have all of our adventure menus, and these are gonna look great because where I'm planning on putting these is right over here. All of this stuffs inside of the wall here, and I like it, and we're gonna put some of this stuff other places in the room. But honestly, I just wanna cover up this whole space right here. So we're gonna put some of those frame photos going all the way down. So it just looks like it's part of the wall, but it's all Nickelodeon art. And then we've got all of our pose sketches down here. So we have this one with Pearl and her friends, and I gotta say, I took it from a piece of paper inside of a cardboard box and brought it to an actual displayable piece of art, along with a beautiful Hook episode. I gotta say, this is my favorite though. The Sandy cheeks right here, framed up. I love these two so much, but I gotta say, if I were to pick my favorite, it's gotta be the Sandy one. Just such an amazing profile of the character, and we love Sandy here. And then we've got the two movie ones, which are already in frames, but I wanted to show you guys them. And we ended up putting the Ren and Stimpy guy in a frame because we could not find a frame for the Rugrats in Paris like box set, but we already have one over here, which is the Wild Thornberries one down here for that movie. This is the complete production press kit as well. Maybe we'll just have to incorporate this somewhere into the background. But then next up we have Squid the Ripper right here, which is amazing. I don't necessarily think we're gonna put this one in the room right now, but I really loved it when it came around Halloween time. So now it's actually something we can put in the background or on the wall and it'll look way better than just a piece of paper. Okay, but now that we have them all here, I want you guys in the comments down below to comment what was your favorite piece that we were able to add to the collection today. And I think I know which one I'm gonna pick, but you go ahead and pick yours, Parker, and you guys comment down below.
What do you think I'm gonna choose?
I think you're gonna probably choose...
Actually, no, we did this earlier. I don't like you knowing.
For me, I'm going with the Flying Dutchman, just because this one was so separated and so messed up that I honestly feel like the price the guy that I bought it from years ago, probably almost, it could have ended up in the trash, just because it was so separated comparatively to some of the other Cels that are out there. But it's the Flying Dutchman, and he's holding his own treasure, so I could not let this thing go, and I'm so glad that we were able to bring it back to a state that is definitely display worthy.
You know what? I actually have to go with the art episode.
Really? That's an interesting choice there.
Yeah, because it didn't look that great. The frame doesn't match, but the fact that like we got an oversized frame and we are able to have like this black edge for the green edge.
It looks like a museum piece.
Yeah, it reminds me of the stuff up over there. Like it looks so good.
Yeah, it looks really high quality with that green border on there. Well, all across the board, they look way better in a frame. I'm so glad that we were able to add that. Not just that, do it with you guys. So thank you guys so much, as always, for joining on this journey. Again, comment your favorite down below. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, button, bell notification so you don't miss any other videos. But check out this video on your screen right here, which is the last epic video on this channel. I know you guys are gonna love it. I'll see you guys over there. And make sure you guys subscribe because you're not gonna wanna miss the renovations of this room. So make sure you guys subscribe. We're gonna be doing a lot of changes in here and there's gonna be a lot of different update videos for it. So make sure you subscribe. But anyway, I'll see you beautiful people over there. As always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios. Blue.